Action.
Good morning, students. In previous semester, we have dealt the plane waves to an infinite extent. Now we consider the electromagnetic waves in the interior of a hollow pipe. Interior of hollow pipe, that is called a waveguide. Now, what is waveguide? It is a long hollow cylindrical metallic pipe having arbitrary area of cross section. Having arbitrary area of cross section whose boundary surfaces are conducting through which the electromagnetic wave can easily propagate. So this is a waveguide. What is a waveguide? It is a long hollow metallic cylindrical pipe having arbitrary area of cross section. Arbitrary area of cross section, it may be rectangular, it may be circular, it may be cylindrical or any other shape, whose surfaces are conducting and through which the electromagnetic wave can easily propagate. So in general we can say that waveguide is nothing but it is the guiding structure through which the waves can propagate from one point to another point. Waveguides find extensive applications in the transmission of microwaves. In the transmission of microwaves whose, you can say, the wavelength ranging from extending from few millimeter to a meter or so. So the transmission losses are much less. However, there is a cutoff frequency. Below which there will be no propagation of the wave will occur. So below cutoff frequency, no propagation of the wave will occur in that waveguide. So further, you can say the most efficient way to transmit electromagnetic waves over short distances. Waveguides are used to transmitting energy over short distances because the wavelength extending from few millimeter to a meter or so. So overall we conclude that waveguide is nothing but it is the guiding structure through which the wave can propagate from one point to another point. Now first of all I'm going to discuss the propagation of electromagnetic waves in a hollow cylindrical waveguide. Propagation of electromagnetic waves in a hollow cylindrical waveguide. Now first of all, what are the assumptions we take? These are the assumptions which we will consider. First is the boundary surfaces. Boundary surfaces of the waveguide are perfectly conducting. Are perfectly conducting. Are perfectly conducting. Second is the cross-sectional size. The cross-sectional size and shape are assumed to remain constant along the axis of the cylinder. Third point is it is filled with the uniform non-dissipative medium. Non-dissipative medium having finite permittivity and permeability. So these are the assumptions which we will consider during the propagation of the wave in a hollow cylindrical waveguide. So now, in a cylindrical waveguide, and waveguide is the concept of the waveguide that has been obtained from the optical fibers. The concept of the waveguide has been obtained from optical fibers, and the most efficient way of transmitting energy over shortest distance that can be done with the help of the waveguides. Now we are considering the cylindrical waveguide. Now this is a shape in the form of cylinder, and now here say we are taking this axis with the x, y and z axis, and the wave is propagating along the z direction. So the wave is propagating along the z direction. Now by using the Maxwell equations, del cross E is equal to minus curly B by curly T. Del cross B is equal to mu epsilon curly E by curly T. Del dot E is equal to 0, and rather than you can say it is rho by epsilon naught, and del dot B is equal to 0. So these are the Maxwell equations, and you are quite aware of these equations because in detail we have discussed in the previous semester. So del cross E minus curly B by curly T, this indicates this is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, and which shows that changing magnetic field induces an electric field. Magnetic field के change होने से electric field का induce होना, and this equation indicates that changing electric field induces a magnetic field, right? And this equation is Gauss law, and this is Gauss law for magnetism that represents that the monopole does not exist. Now these equations, they are time dependent. So where you can say that time dependence has been assumed. Time dependence has been assumed in the form e raised to power minus iota omega t for the fields, for the electric field as well as for magnetic field. So this electric field can be written as E naught e ki minus iota omega t, and B can be written as B naught e raised to power minus iota omega t. Now differentiating this equation, differentiating B vector with respect to t and substituting the value here in this equation, and differentiating the electric field with respect to time and substituting this value here in this equation, and what you will get. So you will get del cross E is equal to, this is what? Minus curly upon curly T V naught E की minus iota omega T, and this can be written as minus of minus iota omega, and right, minus of minus iota omega V naught E raised to power minus iota omega T, and what is this? This is B vector. This can be written as iota omega B vector. Either you differentiate, or in previous class I have told you, you simply remember that curly by curly T simply replaces with minus iota omega. In place of curly by curly T, you replace curly by curly T by minus iota omega. So you will get this equation. So del cross E is equal to iota omega V. Let it be equation number 1. Come to second equation. Del cross B. Again, either you differentiate, or you can simply change curly by curly to minus iota omega. So this becomes minus iota omega mu epsilon E vector. Let it be equation number 2. Del dot E. Yes, students, del dot E is equal to what? Is equal to 0. Why it is 0? According to the first assumption, the boundary surfaces are assumed to be perfect conducting. So for perfect conductor, rho is equal to 0. For perfect conductor, rho is equal to 0. And next is del dot B is equal to 0. So this is equation number 3, and this be equation number 4. Right? Now, further, because of cylindrical symmetry, the variations of the fields in the transverse and you can say the longitudinal components can be written as. So we can further write down del can be written as. So firstly we can find out the differential equations for this E vector and B vector. So we can say, taking the curl of equation 1, taking the curl of equation 1, taking the curl of this equation, what happened? The equation number 1 becomes del cross E is equal to, this can be written as iota omega del cross V. Right? So according to this vector calculus result, this can be written as del dot E minus del square E vector. This is equal to iota omega. Now what is the value of del cross B? The value of del cross B is minus iota omega mu epsilon E vector. So this is minus iota omega mu epsilon E vector. So this equation becomes iota square is minus 1, minus minus plus. So this can be written as omega square mu epsilon E vector. Right? So del dot E from equation 3. But this equation says del dot E is equal to 0. So this implies we can write down del square plus omega square mu epsilon E is equal to 0. You will get this equation. Similarly, if we take the curl of equation 2, you will get the same type of equation. You will get similar equation. If we taking the curl of this equation, so what type of equation you will get? That is del square plus omega square mu epsilon B vector. Just replace the E vector by B vector. So these are the del square plus omega square mu epsilon E vector, and del square plus omega square mu epsilon B vector is equal to 0. We satisfy the differential equation. So I hope it is clear up to here. So just taking the curl of this equation and this equation, we will get the two equations. You can name it as equation number 5 and equation number 6. Now further, we can separate out the variations of the fields. We can separate out due to cylindrical symmetry along the axis of the guide. We can separate out the variations of the fields in along the z direction. So you can write on here, due to cylindrical symmetry, variations of the fields, we can separate out. So we can write on del is equal to del t plus del z. Like this we can write on. Del is equal to del t plus del z, and further this can be written as del dot del is equal to del t plus del z. That can be written as dot product with del t plus del z, right? Del dot del is del square, and here this can be written as del t dot del t plus del z dot del t, right, plus del t dot del z plus del z dot del z. So these two terms goes to 0 because the angle between them is 90 degree. One is the transverse component, another is the axial component, yani one is the transverse, another is the longitudinal. So the angle between them will be 90 degree, and we know that cos 90 is 0. So this can be written as del t square plus del z square, right? So we can substitute the value of del square here in this equation. So del z can be replaced with iota k simply. This point again we have discussed. I have told you in your lower class that del z that can be replaced by iota k. So this can be written as del t square minus k square. So del square is equal to del t square minus k square, and substituting the value of del square in equation 6. So equation 6 becomes, you can write on del t square plus, we can write on mu epsilon omega square minus k square, right? In general we can write on equation 6, and this is what you can say either equation 5 or 6. So these can be written as, for this you can say E vector is equal to 0, and similarly for B vector you can write on del t square plus mu epsilon omega square minus k square. B vector is equal to 0. Or in general this can be written as del t square plus gamma square E vector B vector is equal to 0. And what is gamma square? Where gamma square is equal to mu epsilon omega square minus k square. The value of gamma square is mu epsilon omega square minus k square. This you can mark it equation number 7. Del t square plus gamma square E vector B vector is equal to 0. Now further, now we have to find out the transverse component. We have to find out the Maxwell's equations in component form by using the separation. ठीक है? तो first, next is Maxwell equations in component form. Now we have to write down the Maxwell equations in component form, right? So due to translational symmetry, so we can say due to translational symmetry of the waveguide, we can separate out these fields in transverse and parallel components. So we can separate out. So how? this can be separated out, यानी कि E vector can be written as Ez plus Et. E vector can be written as Ez plus Et. This is axial component, you can say the longitudinal component, and this is transverse component. Z stands for the longitudinal, along the axis, and T is the transverse component, that is perpendicular to the axis. Similarly, B vector can be written as Bz plus Bt. Bz plus Bt, that is again along the axis and longitudinal and transverse component. And del vector can be written as del Z plus del T, del Z plus del T. Now these Maxwell equations, now we have to write these Maxwell equations in component form. So now from equation 1 can be written as, that is del cross E is equal to iota omega V, that is del T plus del Z cross E can be written as Et plus Ez, and which is equal to iota omega Bt plus Bz. So you can write the equation 1 in terms of transverse and longitudinal components. So this can be written as, open it, del T cross Et plus del T cross Ez plus del Z cross Et plus del Z cross Ez is equal to iota omega Vt plus iota omega Vz. Now, first point, this del T cross Et, curl of the transverse component, that is along Z axis, because the curl gives a vector and that vector is perpendicular to this plane. So these are in transverse axis. So this whole vector that will be representing the Z axis, plus del T cross Ez plus del Z cross Et, and this term goes to 0. This is equal to iota omega Bt plus iota omega Bz. Why this term goes to 0? Del Z cross Ez. Del Z cross Ez, yes. Del Z can be written as E3 cap curly by curly Z. And Ez can be written as E3 cap Ez. So when you take the curl of del Z and Ez, E3 cap cross E3 cap, and E3 cap cross E3 cap, that is equal to 0. So now comparing the components. So after comparing del T cross Et, this is equal to what? Z axis. So this is equal to iota omega Bz. And del T cross Ez plus del Z cross Et is equal to iota omega Bt. Is iota omega Bt. Similarly, equation number 2 can be decomposed. Electric field can be decomposed in Et plus Ez, magnetic field can be decomposed in this Bt plus Bz. So similarly, if you go for the second equation, that is del cross B, that is equal to minus iota omega mu epsilon E vector. You can see equation number 2. Now from equation 2, this can be written as del T plus del Z cross B can be written as Bz plus Bt is equal to minus iota omega mu epsilon Et plus Ez. So if we open it further, del T cross, you can say del T cross B can be written as Bz. cross bz plus del t cross again bt, right? A similar way, del z cross bz plus del z cross bt, that can be written as minus iota omega mu epsilon et and minus iota omega mu epsilon ez, right? So again this term del z cross bz, that goes to 0, I have told you here on the same pattern, and del t cross bt, that is along z axis. So this implies del t cross bt, that is equal to this is minus iota omega mu epsilon ez. This is the important point here. The curl of the transverse component is along the z axis. And second point is del t cross bz plus del z cross bt, that is equal to minus iota omega mu epsilon et. So in this way you can write down the second equation in terms of components. Third equation is, now from equation third, what is third equation? Del dot E is equal to 0. So it means this can be written as del t plus del z dot et plus ez, and this is equal to 0. So this can be written as del t dot et plus del t dot ez plus del z dot et plus del z dot ez is equal to 0. And now these terms goes to 0 because angle them in 90 degree, it is the dot product, so cos 90 goes to 0. So this implies del t dot et is equal to minus del z dot ez, and which can be written as minus curly ez. This is the third form. And the last one, similarly, next is del dot b is equal to 0. Fourth equation is del dot b is equal to 0. It means E can be replaced by B. So simply this can be written as del t dot bt is equal to minus del z dot bz, and which is equal to minus curly b z y curly z. So these are the Maxwell equations in component form. So what are the Maxwell equations in component form? These are very important equations. You have to learn it. Del t cross et is equal to iota omega vz, del t cross ez plus del z cross et, that is equal to iota omega t, right? Similarly we can write down, just replace E by B, and that will become the second equation in the form of components. So that is del t cross bt, which is equal to minus iota omega mu epsilon ez, and that further del t cross bz plus del z cross bt is equal to minus iota omega mu epsilon et, and third equation can be written as del t dot et is equal to minus curly E z y curly z, and fourth equation is del t dot bt is equal to minus curly b z y. So these are the Maxwell equations in component form. These are the Maxwell equation in component form. So next we will continue in the next lecture. Thank you.